your number one stop shop. Ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garme yi ndaxte Quality Jasna amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi ana sama jeeg yu pare yi Quality Jasna amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte Quality Jasna ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi make-up artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay make-up product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofa sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo Quality Jasna si 250 01 24 ak Quality Jasna taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye it bégal sa alaaji aas.
The parent ministry of the bill that they intend to withdraw it until they amalgamate the intended institution with an already existing agency under the ministry. This halted the consultative process that the committee had already commenced. However, with a renewed interest and intention from the ministry to proceed with the consultation, the committee thought all the relevant stakeholders add value to our findings. On that note, I beg to move.
Kunda Sabiji, and chairperson of the committee on monitoring the implementation of government projects. Honorable members, any seconder? On Upper Fuladu West.
Yes, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to second the motion and also want to participate in the debate. Honorable Speaker, the National Public Building and Facilities Authority Bill, I think so many bills have been passed in this parliament. I think this is one of the most important bills as far as this government is concerned, because we all know the government of the Gambia has accessibility to facilities for all, which includes the disabled. This shows you that this bill is very, very timely, whereby facilities owned by government, which should be accessed by the general public, even when those facilities are to be built, there are certain things that need to be put into consideration for the people like the disabled, whereby they can access all these facilities. I think this National Public Building and Facilities Authority bill is very, very timely. And finally, I would definitely like to thank the committee, that is the Select Committee on Monitoring the Implementation of Government Projects, for doing a good work. I thank the chairman and his lieutenants for the good work that they have done by tabling this report before the Assembly. Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit. Thank you.
Participate. We begin with the Honorable Member for Tumanna.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I think I will quickly join my colleagues to thank the committee for the wonderful job they did, and of course the ministry, because definitely this bill is timely. I was one time lucky to be part of the scrutinizing of the bill. I was co-opted, so whereby I was fortunate to build an interest in the bill. And definitely, when you go through the bill, you will obviously know that this bill is timely and it is very, very important, because we have a lot of government facilities that are lying there unaccounted for, and some are in fact not in use. So with the coming up of this authority, I believe it is going to be very, very important. What is more important is the committee need to continue after passing the bill, making it an act. The committee need to continue on the follow-up to see to it that whatever is in the bill is being implemented the way it is in the bill. On that note, with that few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
I want to ask the major difference between AMRC, the Asset Management and Recovery Corporation, which is no longer existing, which I know the liquidation is in progress, even though it's not completed, and this authority that we want to establish right now. And because by the time AMRC was existing, they also manage assets for the government and also work on the recoveries of these assets, for the government. But now that the government deem it fitting that their purpose for which they were constituted is not very needed now. They are in the progress of liquidation. But now this authority also is about to be established, which is supposed to do, if not exactly the same function, but have certain similarities in terms of the management of facilities. What would be different, and in terms of financial, implications on the government also, because AMRC has been recovering, facilities for the government and also managing the government facilities. But with all that, we have seen so many government facilities followed, redundant, which were no longer used, and government has still been, spending more money on rents at private facilities. So if the constitution of this facility would definitely make a paveway to end.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kiang West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just wish to take my part on this important debate and thank the mover of the motion for tabling this report. I think it is very important that we look at this thing. Year in, year out, in the National Assembly, we will be approving funds for maintenance of buildings and office buildings, public buildings. I think it is important if we bring it under one umbrella so that we would have easy access to control the funds that are allocated on public buildings. But one thing I would want the chair of the committee to also set more light on is that as a result of this recommendation, to remove GPPA from the board, the quorum for a board meeting as stated in clause 5 should be reduced to 4 members. That is found in page 7. If you reduce the number to 4, I think it's something that we need to look at. Reason being, sometimes when there is the need for vote, it's always good to have an odd number. But if you make it an even number, it will be very difficult for you to have a vote on certain issues that may arise. Also, there is one of these recommendations on objects and reasons, which says the committee proposes that clause 25 stand part of the bill with the name of the minister who is the mover of the bill, be replaced by Honorable Ibrahim Silla as the Transport Works and Infrastructure. I don't think the name of the minister should be retained in that bill. This is a law. We are making a law. Government is about continuity. What we need there is the name of the minister to be removed, but not the name of the minister to be maintained there. So I think it is good to leave it as it is than to put the name of the minister, mentioning Ibrahim Silla as the minister, because government is about continuity. Having said that, I want to commend the committee for doing a very wonderful job, at least to look at the bill clause by clause to come up with this solid report. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the mover of the report of the bill. Honorable Speaker, as we all know, time again we will be working on bills to form authorities. And I believe that this is also one of a very good one where issues of government buildings and facilities will be better checked. I want to ask the mover of the bill, if you look at the last paragraph, page 4, I want to be guided where the committee explained a setback that they had in their scrutiny. Initially, they received a communication from the parent ministry of the bill that they intend to withdraw until amalgamate the intended institution with an already existing agency on the ministry. We want to know what is that agency. If the committee could also avail us. What is that agency in the ministry? And if it is so, whether they've also amalgamated it part of this particular bill. And the other thing also is whether the said agency also is also part of the consulted institutions. Because if you look at the back, stakeholders consulted during the process is only Minister of Works, Transport and Infrastructure. That said institution, if it's not part of the consultation done. And again also, we believe that authorities could do a responsible job in standardization of public facilities, accessibility, and also working to make sure they do a framework of passing with stability in terms of buildings as alluded. I've also seen a visit or part of the consultative stakeholders with Ministry of Health. We all know health also. There are buildings, if you look at the structural approach, most of people, vulnerabilities and disabilities are more anchored onto the health sector. So I haven't seen any consultation done on the Minister of Health. If so, we want to be guided by the chair of the committee. Why was health left behind, into this consultation? Therefore, with this few remarks, I submit. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyamina West.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I also join my colleagues in taking part on the Gambia Public Building and Facilities Authority Bill 2022. First of all, I will have to applaud the committee for a job well done, especially the manner of presentation, the dimension the committee chair took today. Definitely, I'm very much happy in the manner of presentation and the summary of the whole report. This is a job well done. And I think other chairs will emulate from today's presentation, because for the introduction is well spelled out and we can go through with the rest. So it doesn't mean that we will be standing here the whole day to lecture us. So I will also commend the current government and the parliament and the ministry concerned coming up with this bill, which is very due. And if you look at here, may I read from them? It says, until recently, there was an absence of a comprehensive public policy to guide the construction, maintenance, and management of these nation buildings. So definitely it's long overdue. This should have been in place, and it would have give direction to the government and then on maintenance and management of these facilities. This authority also can come up with measures for accountability, since we have seen it here, there is also the absence of proper inventory and accounting of public assets, which is definitely a bad side of it. but that's going to be a history with the coming of this current bill. So these are good policies that we need that will enhance accountability and productivity. Also, I think it will be, I expect shifting from renting of public buildings for government occupancy as government offices. In this bill, I hope it will encourage the government to come up with their own measures of having their facilities in buildings to accommodate their offices amicably. In that juncture, Honorable Speaker, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyamina West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kiang East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And may I begin by applauding the efforts of the Monitoring Committee. Honorable Speaker, this bill should have come a lot earlier than this because the issues that this bill seeks to address are very serious matters. We have a lot of situations all around the country where government structures, out of negligence, are dilapidated. When I first saw this, I am reminded of the condition of Mansakonko in LRR and also in Janjambure. These are government facilities built with taxpayers' monies, and the buildings are left dilapidated. These are buildings that could have been maintained or at best renovated so that government officers can use them. But the situation in Mansakonko right now is that most of the civil servants that are working in Mansakonko are now renting out of town. They are in Jarasoma, trekking daily to work every day. And Janjambure in 2022, we had a similar situation. We found a similar situation where government buildings, especially Amity, were so dilapidated that teachers could not use it. I hope that this bill, when it is enacted, such issues will be addressed. There is also the issue of disabled people being unable to access certain buildings. This building, this very building, is a clear testimony of that. In the 5th legislature, Honorable Yasin used to struggle to get access to these buildings. Go to our schools. Disabled, especially now where schools are, where storage buildings are built. Of course, thank God now those things are taken into consideration by the Ministry of Education, but in some older schools, access to facilities in schools are a nightmare for the disabled, the blind, and those who are unable to work. Hopefully this bill will be able to take care of that, and I want to commend the committee and, of course, the originator of this bill for a job well done. I think it's a good move in the right direction. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kiang East. Honorable members, may I now call upon the mover of the motion to respond to the issues raised and wind up the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And I thank all the honorable members who took part in this debate. I equally thank all the honorable members who could not take part in this debate but have an intention to take part in this debate. I will start from member for Fuladu West. He mentioned that this is one of the most important bills laid before the National Assembly. He therefore reinforced this bill will make the accountability process of public institutions adequately well. He also emphasized that the code that will be expanded by this institution will go a long way in giving quality to our public buildings. I thank the honorable member for Fuladu West for that wonderful remarks. The second in the list is a member for Tumana. A member for Tumana, he also said this bill is timely, like it is also very important. He emphasized the committee should further monitor the implementation of this bill so as to meet its intended purpose. Thank you very much, Honorable Member Otuman. I'm sure the committee will take note of this. Member for Kia West. Member for Kia West came by way of question, where he said, what would be the major difference between the AMRC and this particular authority? AMRC means the Asset Management and Recovery Corporation. If my memory could serve me well, this was an act after a particular commission of inquiry. Honorable member, if you pay attention to law, law always has what we call the duration clause. That's the implementation of that particular law. This law came for a very short period of time, but I don't know why governments came and maintained it. This in fact was an illegal institution because this came to, for a particular purpose, and that purpose was fulfilled, while the institution still continue to manage government assets. So there are differences. That was responsible for managing government assets. It was not a regulatory body. So this bill seeks to regulate government infrastructures and buildings. So that's their major difference. The other one is to manage, while the other one is to regulate. He also talked about, as well as the financial implication of this bill. Of course, there will be financial implication. Know that if you establish a law and that law seeks to employ people, know that there will be financial implication because you are going to take care of their salaries and other things. But further, if this institution is established, all the maintenance votes is going to be centralized. As one of the honorable members said, all the maintenance budget we allocated to several ministries are going to be decentralized or centralized institution, which is going to improve budget as far as that particular issue is concerned. Member for Sabasanya, he highlighted why do we remove GPPA. He made reference to, he said, why do we remove GPPA from the board? Because the quorum for board, he said, now stands at 4. I don't know why that happened, but when we remove GPPA, the quorum should be 5, because we are very mindful. Quorum should not be an even number. So maybe that was some typical error we had, but I think the agreement of GPPA, we removed them because they said they are conflicted. But when they were removed, the figure we achieved was also a prime number, not an even number. But thank you very much for bringing our attention to that. I'm sure the committee will take note of this. He also mentioned about why the minister's name, Ibrahim Asila, instead of the former minister, Bailamin. Member for Lower Salim just came to remind me, during that particular process, we realized that this bill was prepared during the era of the former minister Bailamin. But the minister who presented this bill in the National Assembly is Ibrahim Asila. So therefore, we feel befitting to put Ibrahim's name instead of Bailamin. Because the bill was prepared during his time, but unfortunately, before us, the bill was presented before us by Ibrahim Asila. Member for Kansala, he talked about the setback. The ministry wanted, he talked about the institution that the ministry wanted to amalgamate with this particular institution. In the full disclosure of facts, that this particular institution is GAMWORKS. The name of the institution is GAMWORKS, even though it was an error, we could not put it in our introduction, but the name of the institution is GAMWORKS. Subsequently, he asked whether this particular institution that the ministry wanted to amalgamate with this institution, whether we have consulted that particular institution. The answer is no. We did not consult that particular institution because there were some inconvenience around consulting them because they are not a public institution, so therefore we are not mandated to seek for their opinion during this consultative process. He also said why we don't include health ministry. This could have been very important because Ministry of Health is also another very important ministry, and if my memory could serve me, they also have a project coordination unit which also deal with government infrastructure or government projects. But notwithstanding the fact, the consultative was very inclusive, it was very wider, and it was also very consultative. Member for Nyamina West, he said he's commending me for only today. I don't know why the other days he was not commending me, and it's the same passion. He also said that this authority will come with accountability and accountability measures which will improve the productivity of government building and infrastructures. He also said probably this will discourage government from renting private institutions for government offices. Member for all
Chairman,
yes.
You have a limited time, and I will advise that rather than making summaries, you try to respond to the issues within the short time.
Yes, very soon I'll be done. Well, it's important, Speaker, I respond to all the, I don't know.
You are to respond to the issues, but sometimes you make summary of these things, and the time is about 3-4 minutes now.
Okay. Member for All Yundum, he said this will reduce maintenance costs, which is very true, allocated to ministries on our yearly budgets. Historically and comparatively, he also mentioned PWD to this institution, and he hoped that this institution will do better than PWD. In his last comment, which I see as speculative reasoning, he said institutions sometimes people build institutions for their own pocket. I'm not aware of that. Lower Salo, member of the committee, he said the bill will address a lot of issues in the national budget, which he has reinforced what the old Yundum has said already, and also emphasized the importance of the bill. With this bill, he said, we put in place, will provide accountability measures and to all the budgets allocated to ministries. Member for Buzumbala also emphasized lack of authority to maintain government buildings, and he hoped this particular institution will take care of that. I will not comment on other things that he said. Member for Sami also talked about the importance of the bill, and he hoped the bill to address the particular remedy it has came to. Member for Sani Mentoring also emphasized employment. This bill will provide employment, no doubt, and she went further to say it will also reduce the administrative costs on government as far as renting is concerned. Further, he urged the committee to further monitor to improve the implementation of this bill. Bondali reinforced the same thing. The bill is very important, and he mentioned some of the buildings that are scattered all over the country, public buildings, mentioned one in Kamfenda, whether this bill will seek to address all of that. Member for Jara West, the same thing. He also talked about the maintenance costs allocated to ministries in the budget will be minimized when this bill comes to come in place. Sherakunda talked about the same thing. He talked about lack of adherence to building codes by construction agents, and this bill will seek to address all of that. And he also addressed or answered to the question posed by a member for Sebastian Yal, why GPPA was removed. The honorable member said GPPA is removed as a result of conflict of interest, which was forwarded and advanced to us by GPPA themselves. Last but not the least, member for Lower Nyomi. Lower Nyomi thanked the committee. He's also a committee member. We also thank him equally. And he thanked everybody, the committee, and all the people who took part in this consultative process. Last, he talked about the constraints this bill hopes to address when it becomes a law. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yes.
Insight into the whole report, and those who had listened attentively or who could not have had the opportunity to debate, I thank you all. Honorable members, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on the monitoring and implementation of government projects on the Gambia Public Buildings and Facilities Authority Bill 2022. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not...
No, Honorable Speaker. No, with amendments.
Those not in favor, please say no. Honorable, you don't disturb me when I'm putting a question. Please, no, 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 no. I will not stop what I am doing. You do it at the appropriate time. I am putting a question, I put the question, putting the other one, you interjected. Honorable, don't do that, please. Please. You do it at a time that I am not doing anything, but you wait until I am putting a question and then you distract me. No, but when I addressed the honorable member for Kia, you could have said it before I go into the whole thing, but you waited until I was at the last bit. Please. Honorable members, those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Laying of papers and report. Report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Health, Children, Refugees and Humanitarian Relief on the Nutrition Bill 2023 by the Honorable Chairperson of the Committee.
May I now invite the Chairman of the committee to table his report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Hold on.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, report of the Select Committee on Health, Disaster, Humanitarian Relief and Refugee on the Nutrition Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, I will refer the House to the acknowledgements section of the report. That says the Select Committee on Health, Disaster, Humanitarian Relief and Refugee register its appreciation to the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly for providing the logistics and support staff who gave their best to enable the committee to complete its work. This has invaluably enabled the committee to perform its responsibility as mandated in Section 109 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. The committee is also grateful to the Office of the Vice President and the National Nutrition Agency for their support. The committee is equally grateful to all other stakeholders, witnesses, who took the time to scrutinize the bill satisfactorily and demonstrated competence, dedication, professionalism, and objectivity in giving valuable evidence that enrich the content of this bill. Finally, the committee wishes to commend all the honorable members, subject matter specialists, and the support staff for demonstrating a high sense of commitment and dedication throughout the exercise. Honorable Speaker, on the introduction, the sitting of the 6th legislature on 4th March 2024 during the first ordinary session of the 2024 legislative year witnessed the introduction of a bill entitled Nutrition Bill 2023. On the second reading of the bill, honorable members debated on the general merits and principles of the bill. The bill was then read for the second time and was referred to the Assembly Business Committee for committal to the relevant committee or committees as dictated by the Standing Order 68. Then the bill was referred to the Select Committee on Health, Disaster, Humanitarian Relief and Refugee by the ABC. The committee was tasked with reviewing the Nutrition Bill 2023 and presenting its findings and recommendations. The committee engaged in a thorough review process, meticulously examining each clause of the National Nutrition Bill 2023. Expert opinions and relevant stakeholders were consulted to ensure a well-informed assessment. We hereby present our recommendations and observations as detailed below. But before going further, I will also give you the mandate of the committee. In accordance with the Standing Order 69, the mandate of the committee is as follows. A, identify witnesses hold proceedings and gather evidence on the clauses of the bill. B, record the opinion of the committee on each clause of the bill, focusing on any proposed amendment. C, present amendments in the order in which they stand in the bill. And D, present the report comprising a summary of the evidence gathered from the witnesses, the opinion of the committee on the clauses of the bill, and the amendments proposed. The methodology. The committee adopted the following methods to gather evidence. A, call witnesses to testify. B, call for submission of position papers. C, convene meetings to rationalize and harmonize proposals for amendments. D, convene meetings to validate the bill with its proposed amendments. The proceedings. The committee relied on the testimonies of witnesses and the position papers to review the details of the whole bill, clause by clause, taking due notice on any input aimed at adding value to the content of the bill. Cross-reference were made to ensure that the content of the bill was brought in conformity with the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia and other laws of the country. The summary is the Nutrition Bill 2023 consists of 10 parts and 49 clauses. The bill aimed at safeguarding the rights of Gambians regarding food and nutrition security in line with the country's constitution and international agreements. It proposes measures such as ensuring adequate nutritional services, strengthening coordination among stakeholders, establishing governance structures, and review relevant legislation. The bill emphasizes the timely implementation of the policy goals to improve the well-being of the population. Honorable Speaker, from there we have the scrutiny, evidence, confidence, and advice or recommendations of the committee. But I will take you straight to page 9 of the report, and I will refer you to part 6 that talks about food fortification. Opinion of the committee on clauses 26 to 35 of part 6. No amendment is proposed. The committee recommends that the clauses 26 to 35 stands as part of the bill. Both the committee and the National Nutrition Agency further propose that part 6 of the bill be amended to include the establishment of the National Alliance for Food Fortification. There is established a National Alliance for Food Fortification comprised of the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Vice President, the Executive Director, National Nutrition Agency, Director of Planning, Research and Resource Mobilization, National Nutrition Agency, Fatima's focal person, Director of Health, Promotion and Education, Ministry of Health, or his or her representative not below the rank of a program manager, Director of Public and Environmental Health Directorate, Ministry of Health, or his or her representative not below the rank of a program manager.
Honorable Chairman.
Yes, please.
I think your proposals will be read by honorable members. We have only 1 hour for the debate.
Okay, then
So
that's fine.
As usual.
That's fine. I will go direct to the conclusion. I think that will even ease my... I will go direct to the conclusion with your permission, and also later come with the recommendation. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the proposed nutrition bill in the Gambia represents a significant step towards safeguarding the rights of its citizens to adequate nutrition by aligning the constitutional principles and international agreements. Enacting this legislation will enable the government to ensure the provision of essential nutritional services, enhance coordination among stakeholders, establish effective governance structures, and empower institutions to address the needs of vulnerable population. By promptly enacting this bill, the Gambia demonstrates its commitment to prioritizing the well-being of its people and to achieving its nutrition policy goals without delay. Honorable Speaker, given the above-mentioned observation and recommendation, the Select Committee on Health hereby submit this report for your consideration and adoption by this August Assembly, and for the proposed recommendation to stand as part of the bill. Going further, the recommendation, Honorable Speaker, to further strengthen nutrition security in the Gambia, it is imperative to swiftly enact the proposed bill, aligning with constitutional rights and international agreements. This legislation will not only ensure adequate nutritional services, but also enhance coordination among intervention, establish robust governance structures, and empower institutions to meet the needs of vulnerable groups. Enacting this bill will signify a commitment to improving the well-being of Gambians and achieve nutrition policies goals promptly and comprehensively. In that regard, I beg to move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chairman. Honorable members, any seconder? Honorable Member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for granting me the opportunity. And then also, I thank the Honorable Member for Banjul North, and who is also the mover and the Vice Chairperson of the Select Committee on Health. Honorable Speaker, I would first of all thank the Chairperson, or the Vice Chairperson, and all his committee members, and also the Office of the Speaker and Clerk, and all the staffs of the committee, that's the clerks of the committee, who assisted during the write-up of the report. Honorable Speaker, this report is very vivid and very explicit. I think the Assembly will not take it much time to adopt it. If you go to page 7, Honorable Speaker, where they have their summary, it is clear there, Honorable Speaker, that the bill aims at safeguarding the rights of Gambians regarding food, nutrition, and security. This is very correct, Honorable Speaker, because if you go to our streets, in all our streets, we have the number of food hawkers is increasing by the day. It's increasing by the day, and therefore, a policy to be brought up that would look into issues that is so important to its citizens is more than welcome. Honorable Speaker, food hawkers are very important in our society. They are very important in our society in the sense that they distribute foods or sell foods to our people along the streets. Therefore, there should be a regulation or a law that would look into the affairs of such food hawkers along the streets. Honorable Speaker, if you go also to page 15 in their recommendation, the committee's recommendation, this bill or this report, if adopted, which will obviously lead to the which will of course lead to the adoption of the bill or passage of the bill. If you go to page 7 or 15 rather, it says there in their recommendations that this bill or this report, if been passed or adopted, it will further strengthen nutrition security in the country. That's the Gambia. So really, we should not take much time in adopting this report, honorable members. On that note, honorable Speaker, I would like to beg and take my seat. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara Central. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Health, Children, Refugees, and Humanitarian Relief on the Nutrition Bill 2023. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Now, honorable members, any honorable member may partake in the debate. We begin with honorable member for Fonyi Kansala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the mover of the bill report, the member for Banjul North. This is an important bill, and the committee had did a great job in doing a lot of consultation, in which they drive a lot of recommendations, and also witnesses from various agencies. I am glad that the committee also engaged basic and secondary education, and also Minister of Health, NANA, and Food Security and Quality Assurance, also Minister of Health. It's prudent for us to note that proper food nutrition is essential to maintain health and overall well-being of citizenry. Now, when you look at the health sector, patients who are normally held in the hospital, sometimes it's a challenge for them to have nutritional benefit in terms of their health being. One, in the committee's recommendation, they've also put part of a legislative that will ensure adequate nutritional services and coordinate invention and robust governance structure. I want to ask the mover of the motion, in that coordination, what mechanism would it be? Is it would be part of the overall performance of the bill if it is passed, so as for us to be able to go into hospitals, to be able to assess what patients are eating, and also to be able to assess, go to schools and see what are the nutritional diets that are also done in various schools. I want the committee chair also to guide. And also not only that, when you go to prisons also, you'll see certain lapses in terms of nutritional issues. So these are challenges that I think if this bill is passed, will also alleviate some of those issues in the right manner. And the other thing also, Honorable Speaker, food is as important as a cumulative being of our healthcare system. Without proper diet, without proper food mechanism, it will be a challenge. And varieties of different food groups can also help in preventing diseases, and also boost our immune system, without which we could see that all these are issues that I think when this bill is passed will also alleviate nutritional challenges. And the other thing also is among the stakeholders among the stakeholders consulted,
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala. I now invite the Honorable Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Initially, I wanted to withdraw, but notwithstanding, since this is about food, and at least there is something coming to govern, regulate, and coordinate food to ensure food self-sufficiency. So on that note, I would like to thank the committee for job well done and give my support to this bill. On that note, I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, may I now call upon the mover to respond to the issues raised and wind up the debate.
Thank you very much once again, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will want to take this opportunity again to thank each and every member that participated during the debate of this important report that is laid by my humble self on behalf of the chairperson of the Select Committee on Health. Honorable Speaker, I can see, listening to members, that now we are having more nutrition champion in Parliament, which is indeed very laudable and encouraging. But also understanding some of the points or recommendations made by some of the members, I think most of the emphasis was about the summary, which is indeed very clear. And if you allow me again, I would just go back to the summary, which talks about the Nutrition Bill 2023 consists of 10 parts and 49 clauses. The bill aims at safeguarding the rights of the Gambian regarding food and nutrition security. That is the purpose. And I think that is very clear, and we cannot enact a law that is not in line with the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, understanding that it is the supreme law of the Gambia. So in that regards, I think what all the members said in terms of supporting the bill, I also agree. It is important for us to support the bill, understanding that this is a very progressive bill, and it is indeed very important as a nation to have this important bill enacted in Parliament or passed in Parliament. The member for Fonyi Kansala did ask a question about the assessment. Yes, if this bill is passed, an authority will be set so that they will be conducting assessment to all the institutions that you have mentioned, so that they will be able also to provide guidelines to see how best we can have the program of nutrition in the Gambia being perfectly implemented, which is indeed very important. The member for Combo East also asked a very pertinent and important question that has to do with the Safety and Quality Act, to know whether it is not the same as this particular one. We believe they are completely different. The FSQA looks at the food quality, but for the bill, that is the nutrition bill, will focus on the diet and importance of nutrition that will be aligned with programs that has to do with nutrition in this country. So I think this is very different. The safety and the nutrition aspect of it are very different. Honorable Speaker, going further, I will once again want to seize the opportunity to thank all the honorable members for giving us their commitment towards the passing of this important bill. And I will also seize the opportunity to especially thank the Office of the Clerk and also the staff, the support staff that we have provided to the committee to work on this important report. The members of the committee, the National Nutrition Agency, the Office of the Vice President, and all the witnesses that came during the process of the consultation in making sure that we produce this comprehensive report. And the last but not the least, the subject matter specialists of the committee. We want to thank them for the support during the process of this important consultation in order to provide this comprehensive report for the committee. So in that regards, I again urge other members to support this important bill when it is presented to Parliament for consideration. In that regard, Honorable Speaker, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chairperson. We thank you very much for ably representing your chairman in tabling your report and all other honorable members who participated in the debate and those who intended to participate but could not do so. I now put the question, honorable members. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do adopt the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Health, Children, Refugees, and Humanitarian Relief on the Nutrition Bill 2023. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Laying of papers and reports. A report of the National Assembly Joint Committee of Health and Gender on the National Social Protection Bill 2023 by the Honorable Co-Chairperson of the committee.
Thank you very much, Honorable Clerk. Honorable members, I am made to understand that the co-chair of the Joint Committee is not around. I am further informed that the Vice Co-Chair of the Joint Committee is the Honorable Member for Sani Mentereng. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sani Mentereng to table the report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The acknowledgement, the Joint Committee of Health and Gender register its appreciation to the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly for providing the logistics and support staff that give their best to enable the committee to complete its work. This has invaluably contributed to enabling the committee to perform its responsibilities as mandated in Section 109 of the 1997 Constitution of the Gambia. The committee is also grateful to the Office of the Vice President and the National Social Protection Secretariat for their support. The committee is equally grateful to all other stakeholders or witnesses who took the time to scrutinize the bill and satisfactorily demonstrated competence, dedication, professionalism, and objectivity in giving valuable evidences that enrich the content of the bill. Finally, the committee wishes to commend all the honorable members, subject matter specialists, and the support staff for demonstrating a high sense of commitment and dedication throughout the exercise. The introduction, Honorable Speaker. The sitting of the 6th Legislature on 4th March 2024 witnessed the introduction of the bill entitled National Social Protection Bill 2023. On the second reading of the bill, honorable members debated on the general merits and principles of the bill. The bill was then read for the second time and was referred to the Assembly Business Committee for committal to the relevant committee or committees, as dedicated by Standing Order 68. The Assembly Business Committee committed the bill to the Joint Committee on Health and Gender. The committee was tasked with reviewing the National Social Protection Bill 2023 and presented its findings and recommendations to enhance the social assistance on social protection, as well as the necessary long-term institutional frameworks to be able to organize and coordinate support for the poor and vulnerable people within the country. The Social Protection Bill seeks to provide for the prevention, reduction, and alleviation of economic, discriminatory, and social vulnerabilities as it relates to poverty and deprivation in the country, as well as to establish a social protection agency, board of directors, and for related matters. Furthermore, the bill seeks to empower the minister responsible for the Office of the Vice President in consultation with the board of directors to make regulations generally for the better implementation of the provisions of the bill when eventually enacted into law. The committee engaged in a true review process, meticulously examining each clause of the bill. Experts and relevant stakeholders were consulted to ensure a well-informed assessment. We hereby present our recommendations and observations as detailed in the report. Mandate of the committee, of course, Honorable Speaker, I will leave that for the Assembly to go through. I'll go straight to the summary, Honorable Speaker. The National Social Protection Bill 2023 consists of 6 parts and 47 clauses. The objective of the bill is for the government of the Gambia in adopting the National Social Protection Policy, NSPP 2015 to 2025, to commit itself to the realization of the well-structured social protection mechanism. Despite these commitments and efforts, however, the current legislative framework remains deficient, with notable gaps hindering the effective implementation of social protection programs. Developing an appropriate and comprehensive legislative framework with a focus on social assistance, social insurance, labor laws, social welfare services, and legal and social equity measures essential in ensuring the provision of quality and social protection services. The bill seeks to provide for the establishment of an agency that will lead the coordination of all activities relating to the administration of social assistance and payment of social grants. 2, to make provision for social assistance and to determine the qualification requirements in respect thereof. 3, ensure the minimum norms and standards as prescribed for the delivery of social assistance. And 4, provide for the establishment of a social protection fund and social distance. Honorable Speaker, with the scrutiny, evidence, consideration, and advice or recommendation of the committee, I will leave this for the Assembly to go through. Also, the establishment of the National Social Protection Agency and its Board of Directors, of course, I will leave that one also for members to go through. And also, to gain time, Honorable Speaker, the financial provision, of course, and other sectors, I will also leave the members to go through, and I'll go straight to the conclusion, Honorable Speaker. The conclusion, which, given the above-mentioned observations and recommendations, the Joint Committee of Health and Gender hereby submits this report for the consideration and adoption by this August Assembly and for the proposed recommendations to stand as part of the bill. Honorable Speaker, if you may allow me to go through the composition of the committee. Honorable members, Honorable Amadou Kamara is the co-chairperson.
Honorable, we have just 1 hour for the whole debate.
Then that's okay.
So please, members have seen the list of the committees.
Then I will also let the Assembly to go through that. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, any seconder?
For this great bill. Social Protection Bill is a bill of societal benefit. And in short bill, numerous elements are illustrated in terms of reduction of poverty. This is very inclusive, and I think in availing or assisting social financial assistance to the needy people is of importance. And again, also, it talks about social inclusion, improving the health outcome. These are all key elements that the bill seeks to address. And again, also, it's also prudent, a bill of such, to work on economic stability. This bill will definitely anchor into a lot of pillars that will also give the leverage of the citizenry in terms of their social mandates and social protection. And social security also is also very, very important for the populace, and again, vulnerability of citizenry. Honorable member, I agree that if this bill is passed, it will eradicate some of the unemployment issues, And again also, issues of illness will also suffer, and again, fight the equality in terms of job seeking for disability. On that note, I thank you, and I thank all your members, and I believe that all of us will join hands to the promotion and also accepting this bill to be enacted. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kansala. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the National Assembly Joint Committee of Health and Gender on the National Social Protection Bill 2023. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member who wants to take part may now do so, beginning with Honorable Member for Lower Flood West.
Thank you very much for giving me the floor. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Office of the Clerk, also to thank my colleagues that have endeavored during a very intensive consultation regarding this bill. This bill, as it clearly explains, come to address the inequality, the vulnerable, the disabled. I believe we have been crying all over and over, and now the time is here and right in front of us. So I believe members of the General Assembly will add their blessing, ensuring that this bill is enacted, for the fact that it is there to reduce the opportunities that we have common in Sierra. On that note, I thank the committee for the brilliant job done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Flood West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, let me use this opportunity to thank the committee for presenting a comprehensive report on the Social Protection Bill 2024. Without taking much time, I just go to page 5 on the summary. The objective of the bill is for the government of the Gambia in adopting the National Social Protection Policy 2015-2025 to commit itself to the realization of a well-structured social protection mechanism. Like there is already a framework, a law, but then they said despite this commitment and efforts, however, the current legislative framework remains deficient with notable gaps hindering the effective implementation of social protection programs. There is a law, but they have seen that there are gaps. That's why they are coming up with a new act, or with this bill to form a new act. And then I will also appeal from the National Assembly members, because this is a very, very important, when this bill becomes a law, the agency to look after the vulnerable people in the country. As National Assembly members who approve budget, let's make sure we give them enough budget for them to take care of our own people. Then let's try our level best to give them at least adequate, because we have seen not long ago, we ratified some instruments here, the protocols, to protect disabled, and the protocols to take care of the all men or all people. So this bill also is on the same dimension. And with the help of the Gambia Social Registry, now they have at least a data that can tell you these are the people that needed this at this right time. So by working with the Gambia Social Registry, I believe when this agency is also set up, they will also do the needful for the resources to reach where it is determined to. So on that note, I would want to commend the committee, hence I have no more time, with a very comprehensive report. I submit. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, once again. Honorable Speaker, I would extend my felicitation to the mover of the motion, Honorable Member for Sana Mentoring. Honorable Speaker, I would equally thank the Joint Committee of Health and Gender for coming up with a very explicit report. Madam Speaker, today the humble assembly is witnessing very explicit reports from the first report that we started to the one that we are dealing with now. I will not waste much time of the assembly, Honorable Speaker, but just to alert the mover to note down that there are certain principles to human rights principles to follow if one needs to implement national social protection policies. And we can see that in page 5, Honorable Speaker. On page 5 of the report, we are told that this bill seeks to provide for the establishment of a social protection fund for social assistance. So in that direction, Honorable Speaker, I would be urging the implementing body of the National Social Protection Bill 2024, if enacted as a law, to observe key elements of human rights principles that include, Honorable Speaker, equality, non-discrimination, participation, and as well as transparency and accountability. These are very important elements of principles of human rights when one or a state need to implement national social protection policies. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I would like to take my seat. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara Central. I now invite the Honorable Member for Busumbala.
We thank the chairman of the committee and his committee members and the office of the clerk for effectively doing a great job for the assembly. Honorable Speaker, the bill, Social Protection Bill, speaks for itself. Is indeed a bill that is tabled before this assembly to make a significant impact, positive impact in the life and livelihood of Gambian people, especially those who are vulnerable, like the differently abled individual and low-income earners. In essence, the bill seeks to drastically reduce the poverty rate in this country, and also comes up with mechanism, policies to effectively help the underprivileged individual to have that enjoyment of the social standing quo like their counterpart. When we look at the Social Protection Bill, we realize that effort has been made previously to give assistance to the needy of this country in every sectors of this country. And we realize the implementation of those, distribution of those funds through social protection may have some defaults. In essence, there is no authority that takes the center stage of managing and distribution of those funds. In essence, you don't have a particular authority that is empowered to do it at that point in time, or even there is, but legally, they may have some default. But coming up with this bill, we'll have a full-fledged, legally instituted authority that will be responsible for the distribution of these benefits to the needy. So in that regard, I support the bill and also urge members of this August Assembly to give their blessing. I thank you.
I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to debate. I would like to thank my honorable the co-chair of the Select Committee of Health and Gender, and being a member of the Joint Committee of the Health and Gender, I have this opportunity to say the importance of the Social Protection Bill, if it is supported, or if the honorable members pass this bill. As what is in the bill stated that if this bill passed, it will address issues affecting the disabled, the orphans, the vulnerable families, the poor, and the widows and widowers, persons with disabilities, refugees, and the migrants, and the returnees. Honorable Speaker, as a member of the Select Committee, I know that supporting this bill will definitely help the poor Gambians who are living in poverty, like the disabled. And I wish all honorable members to support this bill so that it will help fellow Gambians who are widows and the poor people and the vulnerable family members in the country. Fellow honorable members, I wish I would like to thank the Select Committee of Health and Gender for doing this great job. I can say we passed 2 bills here today. I recommend the great job the Joint Committee have been doing ever since. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet. Upon the mover to respond to the issues raised and wind up the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, thank members for unanimously accepting the passing of this bill in this August Assembly. Honorable members, thank you very much for being there for the Joint Committee on Gender and Health. Honorable Speaker, in response, I don't think I have issues that I need to respond with regards to this bill, but just to thank members, Member for Fonyi Councillor, Lower Fuladu, Jara West, Jara Central, Busumbala, Tumana, and Upper Fuladu West, Banjul North, Fonyi, Berefet, and of course, members who are in this chamber and they have the heart to be part of us to pass this bill. Honorable Speaker, on that note, I thank each and every one of them, and I thank you, Honorable Speaker, in unanimously accepting to pass this bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Co-Vice Chair of the Joint Committee and Member for Sani Mentoring, for ably tabling the bill and responding to issues raised by honorable members. I thank all honorable members for your participation, your insightful debates, and those who could not have the chance.
Ku yoddu sa xët te Quality Jasna ñoo yor seen cumbukaay tur day uyu borom Jasna piir soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa Quality Jasna your number one stop shop. Ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garme yi ndaxte Quality Jasna amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi ana sama jeeg yu pare yi Quality Jasna amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte Quality Jasna ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi makeup artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay makeup product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofu sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo Quality Jasna si 250 01 24 ak Quality Jasna taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye it bégal sa alaaji